Welcome back to Books for Life, this best channel to be tuning in for everything related to awesome books, where I, Niyama, your host, will share with you my amazing YouTube family, great books, their inspirational author, and I will help you level up. I will give you my feedback, add some strategies for you to be a better reader, and inspire you to grab a copy and start reading. You know, readers are leaders, right? That's what I tell my son. Leaders are readers, and readers are leaders. So, why is it important to read? Why is reading beneficial to the brain? Well, reading is beneficial and essential to the brain for several reasons. I'm going to give you 6 reasons. 1, cognitive stimulation. 2, increased knowledge. 3, vocabulary expansion. 4, stress reduction. Please watch episode 2 of my podcast, Healthy Living, Mindfulness and Reduced Stress. I made that podcast episode July 1st, 2023, episode 3 in my other channel, Healthy Living. 5, empathy. 6, improved focused. So let's go through each of the reasons why is reading beneficial to the brain. Number 1, cognitive stimulation. Reading involves complex mental processes such as comprehension, analysis, and critical thinking. It engages multiple areas of the brain, and it will stimulate neural connections, which helps you to improve cognitive function and your memory. Of course, regular reading can enhance your brain activity and keep your mind sharp. So do read every day. Number 2, increased knowledge. So reading exposes you to new ideas, information, even new perspectives. So whether reading fiction or non-fiction, you will gain knowledge about various topics, about different cultures and other experiences from other people. So this continuous acquisition of knowledge will strengthen your cognitive abilities, and also it will widen your understanding of the world and things going around you. Number 3, vocabulary expansion. So reading will improve vocabulary by exposing you to different words, new words, phrases in various contexts. So this will expand your vocabulary. Not only it will help you effectively express yourself, but it will also enhance communication skills and reading comprehension, which is super important. Number 4, stress reduction. So engaging in reading can provide a sense of relaxation and just escapism, meaning just escaping whatever is going on right now. It also allows you to forget about your worries, and it will help you immerse yourself in a different world or story. So reading has been shown to reduce stress levels, to promote relaxation, which in turn positively impacts overall mental well-being. Super important. Number 5, empathy development. Reading fictional books, fictional stories, particularly those that delve into characters' thoughts, emotions, will enhance your empathy skills. So by putting yourself in the character's shoes, you will develop a deeper understanding of human emotions, perspectives, and experiences. So this can have a positive impact on your relationships and interactions with other people. And number 6, improved focus and concentration. In a digital world, in this digital age filled with distractions and so many crazy things going on, reading will improve your focus. It will help you with your concentration. So it requires sustained attention and mental effort to follow a storyline or to absorb new information. So regular reading can therefore improve your ability to concentrate on tasks and stay focused for a longer period of times. So overall, reading will provide numerous benefits for the brain, including cognitive stimulation, increased knowledge, vocabulary expansion, stress reduction, empathy development, improved focus, and your concentration will increase. So making reading a regular habit can have a positive impact on your intellect, on your emotional, and on your mental well-being. So now that you understand why reading is crucial and beneficial to your emotional well-being, I'm going to keep motivating you on your new journey to reading and reading more, as well as reading the correct books for you. Well, speaking about the correct books, tonight's episode is all about this amazing book titled What is Islam that you see on your screen, written by Dean M. Rana. It was published by World Muslim Youth Council, and they have a P.O. Box. The P.O. Box is 343 Brooklyn, New York 11217. So, what is Islam? Well, Islam is a religion for all mankind, and its message is for everyone, as it is a universal reminder for every age. Islam is a complete way of life. Islam is an Arabic word which means submission to the will of God, the Creator. So this book is telling you that Islam is the perfect guidance for teenagers, for adults, and children alike, regardless their skin color, ethnicity, political, or economical backgrounds. Islam was first legislated by God through Adam, the first man. Then it was perfected with the prophethood of the last and final messenger of God, Prophet Muhammad, who was chosen by God, by the way, when he was 40 years old, and he was in a cave in Saudi Arabia in a deep meditation. And Angel Gabriel appeared in front of him to teach him about God. And Allah, who is the name, is the God of Abraham, the same God of Noah, of Moses, of Jesus, and of all the other prophets. So Islam is an all-encompassing system and code of life with the instruction manual in the form of the Quran, which is the final divine revelation. That's what we believe, Muslims. So whether social, individual, emotional, physical, moral, economical, political, financial, or spiritual, as well as cultural, Islam hasn't left anything out for the human beings to live their best life while preparing for the hereafter life once they die and are resurrected. That's what we Muslims believe. So what is the Quran, and what are 5 benefits of reading the Quran? Well, the Quran is the central divine and religious text that Muslim believes is directly the revelation from God. So it is considered the literal word, verbatim word of God that was conveyed to Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, through the angel Gabriel. The Quran is divided into chapters that are called in Arabic surah, and in those surah are verses. In Arabic, the verse is ayah, and it covers a wide range of different topics, including theology, meaning all about God, morality, guidance for personal conduct, and different stories for prophets, messengers that God sent, and it has also historical events. So the 5 benefits of reading the Quran: first, spiritual guidance; 2, moral and ethical development; 3, personal reflection and contemplation; 4, intellectual stimulation; and 5, emotional healing and comfort. So I'm going to speak on all 5 benefits. Number 1, spiritual guidance. So the Quran serves as a guide for mankind to lead a righteous and fulfilling life. So by reading the Quran, you will derive spiritual nourishment, gain a deeper understanding of your faith, and that amazing special connection with God, your Creator. Number 2, moral and ethical development. So the Quran outlines a comprehensive moral and ethical framework that guide you in your daily life. It will promote virtues such as compassion, honesty, justice, and humility. So when you read the Quran regularly, you can develop these traits and make better ethical decisions. Number 3, personal reflection and contemplation. So the Quran encourages critical thinking and self-reflection. It promotes you, the reader, to ponder over the meaning of life, your purpose for being here on planet Earth, and it also prompts you to reflect on the nature of God. Who is God, what He wants from you, and why He has created you. So this introspection can lead you to personal growth, self-awareness, and a deeper understanding of your relationship with your Creator, the Divine. Number 4, intellectual stimulation. So the Quran challenges you, the reader, to engage intellectually by contemplating its profound verses and its messages. So its linguistic beauty, literary style, and the rhetorical techniques have fascinated scholars for centuries. Christian scholars, Jewish scholars, atheists. And reading and studying the Quran can also stimulate your intellectual curiosity and promote a deeper understanding of language, literature, and theology at the same time. Number 5, emotional healing and comfort. So the Quran has a powerful effect on the heart and the mind, and it offers tranquility, serenity, solace, and comfort during times of difficulty, grief, uncertainty, hardship, struggles. So reading it and reciting it can and will alleviate stress, anxiety, depression. I was talking about depression yesterday in my other podcast, Healthy Living. And the Quran will provide you with a sense of peace and tranquility. So it's important to note that the benefits of reading the Quran can vary for individuals based on their personal beliefs, their understanding, and their relationship with this faith. So Muslims consider the Quran to be a source of guidance and divine revelation, and its reading is an essential component of their faith and spiritual practice. So now you understand why it's so important to read the Quran. So this book that says, what is Islam, that you see on the screen. So what is Islam, and why is it so crucial, so important to spread its message to the world? Well, Islam is a monotheistic religion, but it's more than a religion. It's a complete way of life, and it was not founded, like some people say, by Prophet Muhammad. He was given the message of Islam. Who created Islam? Who made Islam? Well, Islam means submission to the will of God, the Creator. So the Creator chose Islam for us human beings as our way of life. And it was revealed in the 7th century of the Christian era. It's what is known as Saudi Arabia. And it's based on the teachings of the Quran that I just mentioned, and the traditions and the practices of the Prophet of God, the last messenger, Prophet Muhammad, and his example, his life, all that, the narrations, the thing that he said, the thing that he allowed without saying anything, silent approval, all that is recorded in books that are called hadith. So the Islamic beliefs center around the concept of monotheism, pure monotheism, meaning the oneness of God. There's only one Creator, one God. It's not 1 in 3, 3 in 1. And it also centered around the belief of the finality of the prophet. So we believe that different prophets were sent throughout the centuries, throughout the ages, from Adam to Noah, Abraham, Moses, Isaac, Ishmael, Jacob, Job, Jonas, Joseph, John the Baptist. So many of them, 124,000 prophets. 124,000 prophets, to be exact, were sent by God to their different communities. And the last and final one is Prophet Muhammad. That's what we Muslim believe. He's the final messenger of God. Peace and blessing of God be upon him. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And we Muslims strive to follow the 5 pillars of Islam, which include the declaration of faith, meaning to testify there is only one God, which is Allah, and his messenger is Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. The 5 daily prayers, fasting during the month of Ramadan, which is the 9th month in the Islamic calendar. It's called Ramadan. Giving charity, which is mandatory to help the poor, the needy, and undertaking the pilgrimage to Mecca, meaning performing the Hajj. That's the Arabic word for pilgrimage, Hajj. So for Muslims, spreading the message of Islam is considered a religious duty. It's our responsibility, and it's known as doing da'wah, meaning inviting people to the oneness of God, to practicing Islam, submission to God. And that spreading the message of Islam is rooted in the belief that Islam contains divine guidance for humanity's well-being in this world as well as in the hereafter. So the reasons why it is considered crucial, super important to spread the message of Islam to the world, it may vary among individuals and communities, but I'm going to share with you the few common perspectives. So number one, invitation to guidance. So Muslims believe that Islam offers a comprehensive and universal message of spiritual and moral guidance that can benefit individuals and societies. Spreading the message of Islam is seen as an act of compassion, love, really caring about others. So inviting others to embrace the teachings and to potentially gain salvation and eternal reward is very important. So when you share, you're showing that you care. Sharing is caring. I always say that. Number two, promoting justice and equality. So Islam places an importance on social justice, compassion, and equality as well. So by sharing the message of Islam, believers, Muslims, aim to advocate for justice, eradicate social inequalities, and also promote mutual respect and understanding among diverse communities, because we are different and we have different cultures. So we come together under the flag of surrendering to God, the Creator. Number three, countering misconceptions and promoting dialogue. So Islam and Muslims are often subject to stereotypes. I myself have been a victim of that. Misconceptions and negative portrayals. So by spreading the message of Islam, the true message of Islam, we Muslims aim to counter misunderstandings, to promote accurate information about the faith, and also engage in interfaith dialogue to foster harmony and peaceful coexistence. So when we come together and we are talking about the thing that we share in common, then we can grow and be a peaceful community of people from different languages, ethnicities, nationalities. Number four, community and brotherhood. So Islam emphasizes the unity of brotherhood and sisterhood among its followers. Spreading the message of Islam can help build and strengthen Muslim communities, nurture a sense of belonging, and foster solidarity among the Muslim world. It's important to note that the method and approaches to spreading the message of Islam can vary among individuals and among communities. Everybody does it a certain way. They have their own method and techniques. and strategies how they want to go about inviting people to Islam. So in this phase, we encourage respectful dialogue, of course, outreach and sharing of knowledge, of information, of beneficial knowledge, of course, of accurate information. But he also emphasizes the significance of personal choice and free will in the matter of faith. Even the Quran says there is no compulsion in the religion, in the faith. So that means nobody is forced to be a Muslim and to accept Allah as their creator. So ultimately, the decision to embrace Islam lies with the individual. So Islam is accessible to everyone who wants to know about its teaching. The book goes on to say that Islam is simple, and once a person is willingly surrendering to God, then God the Creator will make it easy for them to follow its instruction, its teachings, and to obey God to the best of their abilities. The book says that we are supposed to enjoy the blessings granted to us by God, the one that is our cherisher. It's even in the Quran, and I love the fact that the book has some references, so you can go back to the Quran and read the verses. The book says that Islam is pure, logical, it makes sense. So the book has some verses that they quote here. O people, I am the messenger to you all. I am the messenger of God to you all. That's one verse that is quoted in this book. Another verse that's quoted in this book. A warner to all the nations. That's in reference to the last prophet of God, that he is a warner to all the nations. And another verse that is in this book, we the God have not sent you, Prophet Muhammad, but as a mercy for all the nations. Meaning that Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing of Allah be upon him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is sent by God to be a mercy to everyone, black, white, brown, in between, Chinese, French, Italian, Portuguese, Polish, Russian, Japanese, Chinese. Did I say Chinese already? French, everyone. So this book reminds us that Islam is not a man-made religion, and that is different with all the rest of the other ideologies, religions, and faiths out there, because it comes from God, directly from God. And God reminds us that he created this planet and he has appointed us, mankind, to be its vicegerent, its deputy, and its maintainer. And it's very important to understand that we Muslims believe that God sent different prophets to lead mankind to the right path. All the prophets he has sent them with the same clear message: there is only one God, worship him, don't ascribe any partners unto him. So all a prophet is ordered to do is to preach, spread the message of God, and lead their people to good manners and to have a decent life. So Islam has two main and essential sources: the Quran and the Sunnah. So Quran is the verbatim speech of God, like I said earlier, while the Sunnah is the perfect example, the way of dealing with external as well as with internal things of the final messenger of Allah. And that example is in the form of books of authentic narrations called hadith. So Islam is very simple, it's very attractive to the human brain. The Quran encourages people to utilize their reason and their intellect. So even a little child can comprehend Islam once someone explains it to him or to her. So there is only one God who's the sustainer of all that exists. That God is the designer, the fashioner, the architect who has created and molded human beings and who has made this entire universe. So he asks only for one thing from us: to worship him. So we worship him by appreciating him, acknowledging him, thanking him 5 times a day, and spending time with him once in a while, after we have finished with our daily life, our daily habits, our schedule, our work life and family life. So this creator demands obedience and to stay away from certain things that will harm us mentally, emotionally, physically, or otherwise. So we aren't allowed to ascribe anyone besides God, Allah. And this is a life of test. until we return to Him for Judgment Day, when and where we all will be judged by Him, the Creator. So this Creator is most merciful. The book is even telling us He's all loving, forgiving, and also just and all knowing. So Islam said that there are no priests. That's what the book says. No priests, no superstitions, no complicated rituals. So Islam is practical and appealing to the heart and the soul as well as the mind. Children can learn about Islam because it is rational. So I'm going to recap. What are the 5 pillars of Islam? The 5 pillars are the core principles and practices that form the foundation of Muslim life and faith. So here they are. The Shahada, meaning the declaration of faith. So the Shahada is the first and most fundamental pillar of Islam. It is the declaration of faith that affirms your belief in the oneness of God, Allah, and the prophethood of Muhammad, which is the last messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace be upon him. So the Shahada is recited as follows. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. So the declaration of faith is the starting point for embracing Islam. Once you say that and you truly believe it in your heart, that's it. You have become a Muslim. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And you say it in Arabic and in your own language. If you speak French, you say it in French. If you speak English, you say it in English. If you speak Arabic, you will say Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. I said it super fast. I'm going to repeat it slower. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. That means there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. So that's it. You have become a Muslim. Congratulations! Like in French, félicitations. So number 2 pillar of Islam, the Salah, meaning the pray. So that refers to the obligatory prayers that are performed daily at specific periods of time. Muslims are required to perform 5 daily prayers facing the Kaaba in Mecca, meaning facing east, because that's the direction where the Kaaba is. It's that black cube-like building right there in the center of Mecca in Saudi Arabia. So we face that east direction 5 times a day, and it involved specific physical movements that are combined with recitations of the Quran. And the 5 daily prayers are dawn, afternoon, mid-afternoon, sunset, and night. So in Arabic we call them Fajr, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha. These are the 5 daily prayers. Number 3, charity. You remember how earlier I said we have to give the mandatory charity to help the poor and the needy? Well, that's called zakat. So it's a practice of giving a specific portion of your wealth, your assets, or your income to those who need it, the poor. So it's usually 2.5%. At the end of the year, you give that amount. So it's considered a form of purification, social responsibility, and an act of worship, of course. So zakat aims to support the less fortunate people of society and also to promote economic equality. Number 4, fasting. In Arabic, the name fasting is Saum. So it refers to the obligatory fasting during the Islamic month of Ramadan. As I said earlier, it's the 9th month in the Muslim calendar. So we Muslims have to stay away. We abstain from food, drink, any physical needs from dawn until sunset, like the need to have sexual intercourse. And the Muslims that do smoke during the year, I've noticed that during Ramadan they don't smoke. But even smoking is not even considered permissible. But God is all forgiving. So fasting is seen as a means of spiritual purification, self-discipline, and it allows you to have empathy for those who are less fortunate and who are maybe starving, or they don't get to eat as often as you eat. And it also strengthens your relationship with God. So exceptions are made for individuals, people who are sick, who are traveling, pregnant women, breastfeeding women, and women who are menstruating, meaning they have their period. They don't fast, but they make up for the days that they didn't fast. Number 5, the fifth pillar of Islam is called pilgrimage, in Arabic Hajj. So it's the pilgrimage to the city of Mecca, which is considered a holy city. It's in Saudi Arabia. The pilgrimage is only there. You don't do it somewhere else. It is obligatory for every Muslim who can make the journey physically and who are financially capable to undertake that journey at least once in their lifetime. If you want to do twice, 3 times, you have the money, go ahead and do it, but at least once. So it takes place during the Islamic month. It's not just any time. You have to go during the month of Dhul Hijjah, and we just had it. We just finished the month of Dhul Hijjah, and I was born during the month of Dhul Hijjah, the month of the pilgrimage. I checked that a few years back, like 21 years ago. I wanted to know exactly when I was born according to the Islamic calendar, and I found out. Yeah, I was super excited and happy. So the pilgrimage involves specific rituals such as circumambulating the Kaaba, going around the Kaaba but anti-clockwise instead of clockwise. It also involves you standing in prayer on the plains of Arafat, which is there in Mecca, and also it involves you stoning the pillars, which in Islam represents Satan, the devil. So Hajj, the pilgrimage, is considered a significant spiritual and communal experience. It also symbolizes unity, equality, and surrendering and submission to God. So these 5 pillars that I just mentioned of Islam, they serve as a framework for Muslims to demonstrate their faith, to maintain that amazing connection with God, their creator, and also to establish a moral and ethical foundation in their lives. They are essential components of practicing Islam and are deeply ingrained in the Muslim community. So I highly recommend that you read this book, read more about Islam, Google what is Islam, what Islam means, what does it involve, what does it mean to be a Muslim, because it's an amazing way of life. It wasn't created by any man. No human being came up with the Quran. The God of Abraham, of Noah, of Jesus, of Jonah, of Job, of Lot, that that creator came up with the book, brought it down stage by stage, verses by verses, during a period of 23 years to the last messenger that he chose, Prophet Muhammad. And he is considered the best of the best human beings that have ever lived. And we're supposed to follow his example. We cannot be Muslim without learning his sunnah, without practicing his sunnah, his example. And we have to believe in him. And we have to remember that submission to God means that we have to make some sacrifices in life, like anything else that you cherish and that is very, very valuable in life. You have to make sacrifices. So a lot of new Muslims, when they start on their journey, they might find it difficult, for example, to cover, especially the women. But even the men, they have a dress code in Islam. Even if you are a Muslim man, there's certain things that you're not supposed to wear, or there's certain way you're not supposed to dress. So it's not just the woman. But a lot of them, sometimes they find it difficult to cover their hair. And slowly but surely, they come to the realization that as long as they do it for God, God will make a way out. And as long as they have that intention to do it one day, God will make a way out. In my family, I'm the only one that covers my hair, except a few years ago, my mother finally, she started doing it. And we are a family of born Muslim, meaning generations of Muslims. No Christian or Jewish or atheist in our family for centuries. But we were never taught about hijab, which is covering, the Arabic word for covering hijab, until recently, where we started teaching children about the Sunnah, meaning the example of the wives of the Prophet, that they covered their hair, they practiced hijab. And also we realized that even Mary, the mother of Jesus, she practiced the covering. She is seen in pictures always wearing a veil, a scarf over her head, and covering her breast, her chest, and having long sleeves. So it's a form of modesty, and it's something strange, but once you accept that whatever God tells you to do is good for you, for your mind, for your soul, for your heart, for your life, for your entire existence here on planet Earth, then you will find it inside you, this ease to just do it. Like Nike says, just do it. We hear, we obey. God tells you do this, just do it. Don't question God. He is not to be questioned. Whatever he tells you to do, you do, because it's for your good, for your best interest. Whatever he tells you to stay away from, you do your best, your very best to stay away from. That's it. So I highly recommend to read this book, What is Islam, by Dean M. Rana. It's a very short read. It has literally 20 pages. That's how short and small of a read it is. So remember that I'm here for you. I'm going to help you get back to reading. If you used to once upon a time read and you have stopped it, well, I'm here to help you, to empower you and inspire you to continue to get back to reading. Remember, readers are leaders. So to recap, what is Islam? Is simply submission to the will of God. Why reading is beneficial? Because it will stimulate your cognitive stimulation. It will increase you in knowledge. You will expand your vocabulary. It will reduce your stress. It will bring some more empathy and improve your focus. So now that you understand all about what I just mentioned about reading being beneficial and crucial to your emotional well-being, I want you to go and get a book and start reading. That's it. So I am your host. My name is Niama. My friends call me Nia. This is Books for Life. Thank you so much for staying all the way to the end. And tomorrow I will speak about and do a review of this amazing book called How to Write the Right Book Fast by Trevor Crane, #1 international best-selling author. How to write the right book fast. Position yourself as the authority, attract qualified leads, build your brand, and increase your income effortlessly. It's all about building your brand, yeah? All right, thank you so much for watching. Stay learning, stay focused, keep going, be unbreakable.